What if everything you've been taught about looking successful is actually keeping you broke? Think about it. Why do so many people upgrade their car the moment they get a raise? Why do people stretch their budgets just to wear brands others recognize? And more importantly, why do so many high-income earners still feel financially stuck? Here's the uncomfortable truth. The moment you start trying to look rich, you begin sacrificing the very thing that could actually make you rich. Charlie Munger, the legendary investor and right-hand man to Warren Buffett, believed something most people ignore. Not because poverty is good, but because the absence of show creates the presence of wealth. And in this video, you're going to discover exactly why people who appear modest often end up financially free, while those chasing appearances stay trapped. Stick with me until the end, because I'm going to show you a mindset shift that could literally change how you spend, invest, and build wealth, for the rest of your life. Before we dive in, quick favor. We spent hours researching, structuring, and crafting this video to help you completely rethink money, for free. All we ask in return is a simple 1-second click on the like and subscribe button. That small action helps us keep creating content like this, and honestly, it might be the best investment you make today. Let's start with a story you've probably seen before. Someone gets a promotion. Their income jumps. Within months. New car. Better apartment. Designer clothes. Expensive dinners. From the outside, it looks like success. But behind the scenes, their savings barely change. Their stress increases. And their financial freedom? Still far away. This is the illusion. We live in a world where appearances are rewarded instantly. But wealth is built slowly, and often invisibly. Munger understood something most people don't. The desire to look rich is often stronger than the discipline to become rich. And that's where people lose. Because every dollar spent on impressing others is a dollar not invested in your future. Wealth grows in silence. Here's the first major shift. Real wealth doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't need applause. And it definitely doesn't need a logo. When you stop spending to signal success, something powerful happens. You create financial space. And that space becomes investments. Opportunities. Freedom. Think about it this way. Every flashy purchase gives you a short-term emotional high. But every smart investment gives you long-term leverage. Munger didn't just believe in making money. He believed in keeping it, and growing it quietly. Because the people who win financially aren't the loudest. They're the most consistent. Social pressure, the invisible enemy. Let's be honest. Most people don't buy things because they need them. They buy them because of how it makes them look. That watch. Status. That car. Image. That lifestyle. Approval. But here's the problem. When your financial decisions are driven by other people's opinions, you lose control of your future. Munger called independent thinking a superpower. And in today's world, that couldn't be more true. Because everywhere you look, you're being told. Upgrade your life. You deserve this. Show your success. But nobody tells you. Delay gratification. Build quietly. Think long-term. And that's where the advantage lies. When you stop caring about what others expect, you start making decisions that actually benefit you. Lifestyle inflation, the silent wealth killer. Now let's talk about something subtle, but incredibly dangerous. Lifestyle inflation. This is what happens when your expenses rise as fast as your income. You earn more, so you spend more. And on the surface, it feels justified. But in reality, you're running in place. Because no matter how much you earn, your financial position doesn't improve. Munger avoided this trap completely. He understood that the real goal isn't to increase spending, it's to increase freedom. And freedom comes from one thing. The gap between what you earn and what you spend. That gap is everything. It's what you invest. It's what compounds. It's what eventually replaces your income. But if you close that gap with lifestyle upgrades, you kill your future wealth before it even starts. Let me ask you something honestly. Have you ever felt pressure to spend money, just to keep up with others? Maybe friends, coworkers, or even social media. Drop a comment below, I want to know your experience. Because once you recognize this pattern, you can start breaking it. The power of being underestimated. Here's something people rarely talk about. Looking poor protects you. When people don't perceive you as wealthy, they expect less from you. They pressure you less. They judge your decisions less. And most importantly, they leave you alone. That gives you a massive advantage. Because you can invest without noise. Build without attention. Grow without interference. Munger didn't care about being underestimated. In fact, it worked in his favor. Because while others were busy maintaining an image, he was quietly compounding wealth. Quiet wealth versus loud poverty. Let's draw a line between two types of people. Person A. Expensive car. Luxury lifestyle. Constant upgrades. Minimal investments. Person B. Modest lifestyle. Low-key appearance. High savings rate. Strong investments. At first glance, Person A looks successful. But 10 years later, Person B is financially free. This is the difference between looking rich and being rich. And the scary part. Most people never realize they chose the wrong path until it's too late. The psychology of delayed gratification. Everything we're talking about comes down to one core principle. Delayed gratification. The ability to say, not now, so I can have more later. It's simple, but not easy. Because we're wired for immediate rewards. But wealth doesn't work that way. It rewards patience. Munger lived by this. He didn't chase quick wins. He focused on long-term outcomes. And that's why his results were extraordinary. True wealth is optionality. Here's the final shift, and it's the most important one. Wealth is not about what you can buy. It's about what you don't have to do. You don't have to take a job you hate. You don't have to worry about bills. You don't have to depend on others. That's real wealth. It's optionality. And optionality doesn't come from appearances. It comes from discipline. From consistency. From making choices today, that your future self will thank you for. So let's bring this full circle. Looking poor isn't about deprivation. It's about strategy. It's about choosing long-term freedom over short-term validation. Charlie Munger understood that the biggest advantage in life isn't intelligence, luck, or even opportunity. It's the ability to think independently. And act differently from the crowd. While others chase attention, you build quietly. While others spend to impress, you invest to grow. And over time, that difference becomes everything. Because the truth is, the people who win financially aren't the ones who look successful early. They're the ones who stay disciplined long enough to become unstoppable. And if you can embrace that mindset today, you won't just change your finances. You'll change your entire future. If this video gave you a new perspective, share it with someone who needs to hear this. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, because we're just getting started. Your journey to financial freedom doesn't happen overnight. But the next video you watch could change everything. Go ahead, click it now.